Hello everyone and welcome to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Murph, it's Sam, and it's Friday, and you know what that means, race fans. It's time for the Archway Industrial...
Chili fries!
Chili fries.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's time for the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series, and tonight we are here for a treat. It's a classic. It is the Black Magic Studios Night Race here at Bristol. We're still missing the turn 3 and 4 grandstands. A lot of the drivers were commenting on that earlier. For some of them, it's just it's kind of floating. For some of them, the lights are flickering, and so it's going to be an interesting time. But Sam, we discussed that last night. It might work to the advantage of some of these drivers trying to find pit road.
Oh yeah, no question. It could be a beacon in the night for sure. Things get a little bit in a hurry. So yeah, it could benefit drivers if they really think about it.
You know, it most certainly could, Sam. Speaking of benefits, here in the booth, we have a little bit of local knowledge here. The history of the series at this track, there have been 5 races. Or excuse me, there have been 4. This is the 5th. Klaus Williams, Jamie McKinney, and Austin Hund are the other 3 winners here. But Sam, the defending winner of this race is me.
What?
That's right. We had
a fendered vehicle?
A fendered vehicle indeed. I drove the P1 Broadcasting truck not too soon after we had founded the channel to Victory Lane here at Bristol last year. One of my 2 wins in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. The first one came right here at Bristol. The second one was at Talladega, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I own a win at one of the shortest tracks, and I own a win at the longest. I was nowhere near the pace at any of the tracks in between. Tonight we're going to see something a little bit different, I think, than we saw last night in the Xfinity race. First of all, Sam, it's a shorter race, isn't it?
Well, compared to last night, of course, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more intense, a little bit quicker, and these trucks are in no better shape than the Xfinity or the Grand National cars were last night. I'm going to have to really work on that, Mark, because, you know, the original series is Xfinity. I love that they call this the Grand National Series, but Xfinity is getting ready to leave. They're giving up their sponsorship of that series. And so now I'm going to have to probably call it O'Reilly Auto Parts or something.
I'm still going to call it the Busch Series, Sam. I don't care what they name it. It's always going to be the Busch Series.
I love Grand National. That is my favorite. That's my favorite title of this series, and it always has been. But I was going to say that the Grand National cars were really having a tough time with loose conditions. And watching practice tonight, I'm seeing a lot of the same things with these trucks, and so the drivers are going to have a handful, and they're going to have to really settle in to make sure that they're there at the end of the race. We had a little bit of attrition last night, and I hope that's not the case tonight.
Yeah, they most certainly are going to have to deal with that loose condition. The truck is going to tighten up as the run goes on. You're going to see multi and varied lines. You're going to see guys struggling to get off of turns 2 and 4, and you're going to see that classic Bristol struggle between the low line and the high line. If you get 2 trucks side by side, it's going to be very difficult for the truck on the bottom to clear the truck on the top. The variable banking here makes the 2 lanes just about even. You get side by side all the way around, and that is really just kind of what the track designers wanted. They've taken the banking down here, though, haven't they, Sam?
Yeah, they have taken some of the banking and kind of changed the variation of the progressive banking here in order to kind of give you that two-lane racing. There are drivers in iRacing that are very proficient at running a middle lane, but for the most part, just like what we saw in the actual Craftsman Truck Series race at Bristol just this week, is that you will see two specific lines. A lot of drivers will take the high line up near the wall, and as you were saying, one on the bottom. The racing can be very good. It just has to be conducted in just the perfect way, just so that you don't put yourself in jeopardy. The high line does get a big run off the corners, but the low line really gets the advantage over the longer run just simply by saving tires.
Yes, it does. Speaking of the banking here, just like its cousin, and I do term this track as the cousin to the Nashville Fairgrounds. It was originally when it was originally constructed, the banking here was 27 degrees. Before 2007, when did they concrete it, Sam? Do you remember? It's been what, late 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the configurations have changed so much over the years as far as with the asphalt, but they've actually my understanding is they ripped up some of the concrete and put some more back down at one time or another. I was trying to see when that actually was.
Well, and so I remember the track being asphalt up through the early 90s. Larry Carrier sold the track to Bruton Smith in the mid 90s,
right.
And I want to say that it was when Bruton Smith bought the track and Speedway Motorsports took over that was when the track was concreted, or just about 1993 was the concreting of Bristol. So it was just before that, but before it was concrete, this track was anywhere between 27 and advertised at times up to 36 degrees. The true banking was about 30, which is huge. Today the banks
it's significant, yeah.
Yeah, today the banks are much less. The bottom is 16 degrees. The top is banked at 19, and it's variable all the way up there. I kind of wish they would go back to the old 30-degree high banks because you couldn't walk up the things. They were steep, Sam.
They were. I remember going when it was at that configuration, and it really was. I mean, you literally, it was almost like climbing a ladder. You were at such an angle.
Yeah, it was a huge. It looked like you were staring at a wall. Like you go to maybe a couple of tracks in Indiana we have are very similar to this. Winchester, Indiana, and Salem, Indiana. Salem is very similar to Bristol.
Salem, yes.
Yeah.
And Winchester, yeah, both of those are very high bank.
They're extremely high bank. Now, Winchester is a little bit different in that it is really only one lane for stock cars. You might be able to fit two sprint cars side by side through those corners. But Salem is very, very similar to Bristol, and it retains its huge banks. I want to say it's over 30.
But it's not a half-mile track, though.
It is close.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's a half mile.
It is close. It is.
Because that's in Indiana, right there near you.
It's in southeastern Indiana. Salem is 0.555 miles.
Wow, it is a half mile track. I really did not think it was.
It is a half mile, yeah. So, anyway, Sam, it's come time to talk about practice speeds. As always, we're going to give Sam Crow 3 guesses as to who's the fastest in practice.
I was going to say, let's put the onus on you tonight. Let's see if you can name who the fastest truck is in practice. Tonight.
Well, I know, Sam. I've got
you are. You're always asking me.
Well, that's because I have the timing and that's because I have the timing and scoring in front of me for the 843rd week in a row. We do beg to report. We do report that Ryan O'Donoghue at 122.804 miles an hour.
And there is a formal protest that has been filed to find out how Ryan is continually winning the fastest speeds in practice.
Rest of the top 5, Chad Winstead, and I was talking to him earlier, he's excited to be back. Austin Hund, who is a former series winner here at Bristol, he is 3rd quick. James Hodgson in the forward-facing 88 is 4th. And Lewis Hayes in that good-looking 40 racewear truck is 5th. Do want to point out, Sam, the banking at Salem is 33 degrees.
That's even more than what Bristol was.
It is. I'm going to have to look up Winchester. Winchester is also a half mile. It is billed as the world's fastest half mile. I used to go to Winchester quite a bit when I was in college. Take a gander at how steep the banks are at Winchester, brother.
Does Himalayan, is that a measurement?
37 degrees.
I was going to say that, but I just didn't want to be that far off, but I wasn't off at all.
That is, yeah, that is.
Now, just at the old configuration at Bristol, I remember when we used to work there that we could get on the track at certain points and intervals during the weekend because we would go up early. And I remember one time that one of the pit crews had taken some bowling balls and up in the turn four section at the end of
I
pit
see
road,
where
and
this
they
is
would take,
going.
yeah, they would put bowling pins and they would bowl from the top of the wall in the corner. But I actually saw a bowling ball break. It generated so much speed that when it got down to the bottom of they didn't push it. They just held it and then let it go. But it generated so much speed that it hit the concrete wall on the inside. That was before safer barriers, and so it hit the inside concrete wall, and the bowling ball broke because it missed the pins.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Qualifying,
that's a lot of speed and a lot of gravity.
yes, it has. Qualifying has just been red flagged, and we're going to line them up, Sam, based on iRating. I don't know if that was intentional or if there was some sort of miscommunication or whatever with the setup.
Wow.
But we're going to line them up by
What
iRating
in the
tonight,
world?
Sam.
Hold on.
I'd imagine there's some discussion taking place.
Yeah. Hold on. It. Okay. This is what administration is saying, that there's been an error in the race setup, and so now they're discussing starting another server session with a 5-minute practice session and go straight to qualifying from that. And so apparently an administrator inadvertently tried to do some work, and while he was doing the work, he eliminated the qualifying session.
Oh no! And that, believe it or not, fans, that does happen from time to time.
It does. It's an easy miss. So now drivers are starting to leave this particular session. And again, for those that are tuning into the broadcast tonight, and Mark and I are familiar. We've been doing this long enough that you get so used to the UI that iRacing has had for year after year after year. And this last update has changed a lot of the user interface. UI, that's what that stands for, is the user interface that we use in the sim. It's changed a lot of that. It's not that much of the buttons have changed as much as the look, where they're put, and how to access information that you had done before. And so sometimes it was already hard enough or easy enough to make a mistake, but once you get into this new UI and there are still people learning this UI, it would be easy to inadvertently hit something and do something like what we've seen here. So the drivers are filing out of the track, and administration is going to set up a new server, and we will see if we can transfer the broadcast to that.
We most certainly will. Do want to let everybody know, and we do have quite a good crowd waiting on us to get this party started. Sam, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, it's a good start.
What's going to happen here is that once the new session goes up, it's going to take a couple of moments for it to generate. In the meantime, we will cut to a commercial. We'll show you some advertisements here. It'll take probably 5 minutes or so for the new session to get loaded up and activated and all that. So there'll be just about a 5-minute break, and we will come back. We'll have a 5-minute practice, then we'll have qualifying, and then we'll have the Blackmagic Studios night race here in the AMA Industrial Coatings Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series, and we'll be live from Bristol. This is going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait for it, Sam, but I'm going to have to wait about another
I'm excited despite this snafu. I'm excited about it. Stay tuned, fans. Just give us and the administration just a little bit of time to kind of work these things out, and we'll see if we can get you a race going really quick.
100%. I will be right back with the new session. All right. Mics are dead. Black Magic. Yeah. I already did. I'm out. And then he hasn't set the new session up yet. Freaking Dunwoody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Murph, it's Sam, and this is the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series, Take 2. Sam, we've got us a new session. We are back and ready to go. We want to thank everybody out there for their patience. We're going to have about another 6 minutes worth of practice just to let everybody get into the session and get ready to rock and roll here this evening here at Bristol. Do want to thank everybody for their patience. That does happen. What people don't realize, what people out there may not realize, if you're not familiar with iRacing, you wind up in situations where every 12 weeks we have a week 13, and in week 13 that's when iRacing debuts its new features, its new tracks, its new cars, and so forth. And what winds up happening is Sam, they also drop updates to the service itself. We've been operating under the same UI or user interface within the races for several years now, at least as long as I've been around, and I've been around for, 5 years? It's looked the same. It looks different now, and so buttons are
in session.
Yeah, in session. Buttons are different. They're in a different
Right.
place. Where you create the sessions is a little bit different, and we kind of saw that play up a little bit in Chicago, the Sim Gaming Expo. There were some sessions that were created that were a little bit off, and that's just chalked up to buttons being in different places, or Sam, they might not exist at all anymore. And so these things are going to happen, and that's sim racing. You roll with the punches. You do the best you can. Sometimes you just got to drop out, create a whole new session, and keep right on trucking. Just view it kind of like a short rain delay, right, Sam?
Pretty much, and thanks to the experience that the administration has here at the AMA, they're able to create that session really quickly and get the drivers back on the racetrack in a timely manner, so that they don't get discouraged or get a little frustrated. That's not the way to start an event, is having drivers getting frustrated. So it's going to be frustrating enough with this truck being as loose as it is. We don't need to add to any of that.
Now, one of the things you were talking about it being loose, Sam, it's going to be a little bit more free in practice because practice happens in the daytime. We're going to qualify and race at night, and so the truck is going to be by nature a little bit more free right now than it is in the race, and so hopefully we're going to see a lot of that loose condition kind of cure itself. Also, just the nature of the race course itself lends to vehicles tightening themselves up. The other bit is that we've got 20 trucks here, so a few more vehicles on the track than we had last night. But as we saw last night, attrition can get pretty heavy at Bristol pretty quick, and that's also going to alleviate some of the cautioniness that can occur here. Do want to put the leaderboard back up, Sam? I'll give you 3 guesses who's at the top of that leaderboard right now.
I'm going to say my friend, the battling Brit, James Hodgson.
He is second quick.
Oh, wow, so close.
He is
so close.
He is second quick, James Hodgson, and not only that, he's probably calling the guy in front of him a Muppet. Chuck Sweeting is third.
If he doesn't have it on his tailgate again.
Chuck Sweeting is third. Zay Lewis Hayes fourth. Chad Winstead is fifth. The leader this evening at the top of the point standings, it's none other than Ryan O'Donohue. Do we count this as as one of the extra 100 weeks he's been at the top of the board, Sam?
I think at this point we just need to just concentrate more on the second place person. I would never take that credit away from Ryan. Ryan is an incredible racer here in iRacing, and he's a very kind individual as well. So I would never take any of his accomplishments from him. So kudos to Ryan for having a handle on that truck.
Yeah, kudos to Ryan for having a handle on that truck for certain, sure. He is currently the fastest in practice. James Hodgson, Chuck Sweeting, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, Chad Winstead round out your top 5. Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman, falls back to 7th because David Dunwoody just went to 5th. Austin Hunn, Chad Dulabon, John Hutchins round out your top 10. Keith Graham, Jeremy Dunwoody, Matt Sizzler, Tyler Moore, Ken Holland, and Donald Green have all taken time. Colby Pierce, Kendall Paul, Barry Seaman, Justin Kirby, and a black flagged Matt Wagner have yet to set a time in the session. And there's only about 90 seconds. Of course, there was quite a bit of practice earlier. And so they don't need a whole lot. This 5-minute session is more or less just to make sure everybody can get loaded in and ready to go for tonight's proceedings.
A lot of it is you really want to, when you run into instances like this where you're having to change sessions and you get into a new server, the routing can be a little different. And so by giving them about 5 or 6 minutes of open practice time, it gives all of the drivers computer systems time to acclimate themselves to the routing and all their frame rates and all their connections, everything seems to settle down.
Yeah, for certain, sure. And it takes, I mean, even with the high-powered computer systems that most everybody that uses iRacing has, it still takes a couple of minutes. I know for me, it takes a couple of minutes to load the sim. So, there's that too, Sam. It's not an instant load. Matty Wagner checks in.
No.
Matty Wagner checks in.
Especially when you have to go through so many, what they're called hops, but from wherever you're located, it goes to one hop and then another, and then until it reaches the server.
Yeah, for sure. Matty Wagner checks in. He says, yes, he's goofy. I can vouch for that, having spent last weekend with Matt. He is definitely goofy, but we still love him. That has concluded practice here, and
Let's see if we'll actually get a qualifying session now.
Let's see. We were riding on board with Chad Winstead when the last session cut out. So let's jump.
Look how dark the track's already got. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's such an awesome.
That's got to be overcast because the sim time's at 3 in the afternoon. It's got to be overcast. Why it's so dark?
It may be.
Track temp's down to 80, so there'll be some traction here, but I think it may be overcast at 3 p.m. on track time.
Yeah, there it is. Track temp ambient temp 73. The track is 80. Wind is west at 7 miles an hour, and you are right, Sam. The forecast is overcast. Chad Winstead is on the track, and he has already completed lap 1, 15:195 for Chad Winstead. He'll go for lap 2. That put him second quick. Chuck Sweeting, 15:030, has the provisional pole. Around comes Chad Winstead on his second lap, and
Chuck Sweeting, around he goes on that second lap.
Chad Winstead goes to second quick, and we are already working qualification laps. There's the forward-facing 88 as he sits on pit road. Let's have a look at Say Hey Lewis Hayes real fast. There's Lewis. He's coming around to complete lap number 1. Jump on board with Say Hey Lewis Hayes.
Outside of some misfortune and unfortunate circumstances, Lewis is really wanting to make his mark here in the AMA, and he seems to be getting faster and faster every week. And so I know that Lewis is excited to be here.
There he goes. Say Hey Lewis Hayes. He'll jump to 5th quick and immediately spin the truck out. So there goes Say Hey Lewis Hayes. How about the 3 birdies machine of Matt Sizzler? There's Matt. We'll jump on board with Matt Sizzler.
Matt Sizzler, probably the hottest driver here outside of Rhino Donahue and Chad Dulabon in our Archway Industrial Coatings truck series. Matt Sizzler has come on strong since he's arrived in the league.
Yes, he has. He does touch the apron, though, on his second lap, and around goes Matt Sizzler. Here's an interesting perspective. We'll get in the gyro cam. This is inside the helmet of James Hodgson, the forward-facing 88, the affable and lovable Brit. Here he goes, lap number 1, already in the books. Lap number 2, 15:067. He'll go to.
James is actually one of the few that's been able to pull off his second lap. A lot of drivers have been self-spinning on their second lap and losing control, and so James was able to stick it out there and make it work.
15:022 is the time.
988. 1/100. Actually, 2 1,000ths off. No, that's 1/10. Gee whiz.
989, so 19 thousandths of a second is the
Yeah,
difference.
19 thousandths.
19 thousandths is the difference between James Hodgson and Ryan O'Donohue. That was a quick one, Sam. Great
It
run
sure
for
was.
great lap from James Hodgson. Seaman, the two Dunwoody, Barry Seaman, the two Dunwoodies, Chad Dulabon, Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman, and Colby Pierce do not appear to be taking time, Sam. Those two trucks are
It may
on.
be it may be just for self-preservation, but even starting in the back here is just you have to be very cautious and cognizant of what's happening ahead of you because just like Dover, which is another concrete track, things can happen so quickly and it can jumble so many cars up in an instant. So even if you don't take a time, you're really having to be mindful of what's going on ahead of you as well as around you. So um, it's going to be good to see how drivers like Colby Pierce, who's had a lot of speed lately, and Justin Osterman, who has always wanted to push himself toward the front, Chad Dulabon, who is probably one of the best drivers that we've had this season about tire conservation, moving his way up to the front. We'll see how those drivers are able to navigate up through the traffic and get up there and racing for the lead.
And just what you said to kind of piggyback off that, just like Dover, this track is very much a self-cleaning track. That means when there's an
Yes, sir.
accident, it all flows to the bottom. And so being at the back to stay out of trouble may be an advantage, as long as you stay on the top side, Sam, and you avoid the wrecks coming down the track. Of course, we saw David Dunwoody yesterday in the Grand National race. He drove that car from the back to the front. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what David Dunwoody has in store for this evening. But we've got us a grid, Sam.
Yeah, and Dylan Godinez was another driver that took advantage of that high line at the very beginning and drove from the back of the field all the way up to the lead eventually. So it's possible, but with the stage breaks, these drivers can manage this race. They can manage their tires. It's just who's going to have the patience and who's going to have the fortitude to say, that's what they're going to do. With the stage breaks somewhere around 65 and 130 or something like that. With the stage breaks being where they are, these drivers they have all the ability to manage this race for themselves for the last run. And so I'm eager to know who's going to do that, who is actually going to learn from the first two stages, keep the truck clean, and be there at the end.
David Dunwoody, by the way, points out that he started up front last night. Yes, you did start up there, David, but you went to the back several times as well. Ryan O'Donohue has the pole. James Hodgson will start outside. Austin Hunt, Chuck Sweeting, they'll make up row 2. Kendall Paul, say hey, Lewis Hayes, they'll be in row 3. Chad Winstead, Matt Sizzler, they'll go 7th and 8th. Rounding out your top 10, it's John Hutchins in the 72 and Justin Kirby in the 80. In row number 6, you've got Keith Graham and Tyler Moore. Ken Holland will start 13th, Donald Green 14th, Matt Wagner in the DeWalt Horizon IndyCar Series number 17 will go from 15th. David Dunwoody is 16th. Colby Pierce, Justin Osterman, Chad Dulabon, Jeremy Dunwoody, and Barry Seaman are going to round out the field. None of these trucks in the back qualified for the event. They did not set time, and so they have elected to start back there, Sam. This could be fun.
Oh, there's no question about the fun factor. Let's just hope that we can keep civil minds and heads in this race so that we can see a lot of these drivers make the most of this event tonight. That's my hope, and that's for all these drivers. I was noticing as you were going through the rundown that Justin Kirby is here tonight. I think this is his first race with us this season. Justin Kirby in the AMA Series, and I want folks to just keep it. I've raced with Justin many times over the years. He is a seasoned veteran. He's very good at what he does, and so just keep an eye on that 80 machine, and we'll see how Justin Kirby works his way around new drivers tonight. And so I know that he'll show them the utmost respect and still wheel that truck to the front if it's possible.
Yes, indeed, and he's got brother Brent in the audience tonight. He says, "Tell him, Sam."
Brent is another. Both the Kirby brothers. I've had extensive history with running those guys. It's been a while since I've done that, but still, nonetheless, I've had a lot of good times racing.
We are underway here at Bristol in the Blackmagic Studios night race, and immediately Ryan O'Donoghue bolts for the lead. He's got James Hodgson and Austin Hunt side by side for second behind him, Sam.
Yep, these drivers are going to actually to see who can settle in. They're going to race for this second spot. There's a race for the fourth spot or the fifth spot as well. Chad Winstead, as you said earlier, gets a little loose on entry there coming into turn 3, but he saves it, and he's going to fall in line right behind the machine of Kendall Paul. Nope, he's decided he's going to pass it.
Yeah, just as soon as you said he was going to fall, in behind Kendall Paul. Chad Winstead turned that baby left and drew into the 5th position, and already we have caution on the speedway. I believe it's going to be Donald Green who has brought out our first caution of the evening. And there's Donald. Man, Donald Green had it rolling up on the high side, and let's see what happens to him here. He is up top. He's got Colby Pierce on the bottom. He's going to drive past Pierce. He's going to drive past Wagner. There goes the back end, and around goes the 51 truck hard into that inside wall. The telltale smoke comes out.
Into that inside wall. That's considerable damage in these trucks. These trucks just cannot take that kind of front end damage and not be seriously injured.
No, it is very difficult for them to absorb that kind of an impact, and that is going to end. He's got the meatball. That is going to end Donald Green's night. Chad Dulabon also retired. I don't believe Chad Dulabon took the start here, Sam.
Did he not?
He's being shown 4 laps down, and he is not in the session. And so,
wow,
an early end to the evening for Chad Dulabon. It could have been a real world issue, perhaps not feeling well.
Of course.
Maybe the internet disconnected. We don't know. Donald Green checks in. He said the guys were slow on the bottom, and he just lost it on the top. And that happens, Donald. It'd be all right. You'll be back next week. No worries, my friend. We are working at caution number 1 here in the Blackmagic Studios night race. Do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, including Archway Industrial Coatings. They're a St. Louis-based flooring company that have been getting the job done for years. They do epoxy and urethane flooring solutions that withstand the test of time, all while meeting their customers' installation schedules and budgets. They're committed to doing the highest quality work at the lowest possible budget every time, whether it's industrial, commercial, restaurant, retail, or concrete repair at home. You found the perfect partner to get the job done now. Get ready to floor it with Archway, and that's archwaycoatings.com. We are under caution working lap 7 of 200. And Sam, these laps, we talked about it last night, but it is worth mentioning again. That first stage caution at lap 65, that's going to get here in a hurry. Even though it's under yellow, we are working lap number 8 already in this event.
Yeah, this track is, it's only a half mile, so the speeds they generate under green flag conditions, they can click off incredibly quickly. But as you're saying, even under caution, it just seems like the race just unfolds so quickly, and before you know it, drivers are left making decisions at stage breaks. If there's a lot of cautions, should I change tires? Should I keep my tires on? Should I stay out for track position? There's a lot of things that can come into play if there's a lot of caution laps. And we're getting ready to go back to green, Mark.
We are getting ready to go back to green. We're going to get in the Mike Rigney seat here at the top of turns number 3 and 4. Away they go. And that's one of the wonderful things about Bristol. You get a good seat, you can see the entire place. Ryan O'Donoghue gets the jump on Austin Hunt. And away we go one more time. O'Donoghue leads Hunt, Hodgson, and Chad Winstead has moved himself into 4th. We've got a battle for 5th. It's Kendall Paul and Chuck Sweeting. Paul on the bottom, Sweeting on the top. They've got an interested observer in John Hutchins.
Oh, those are 2 really smart racers, Sweeting and Kendall Paul, and so they'll sort that out really quickly. They'll know that they don't need to be racing side by side and risk using up a lot of tire here early in the event. So those two drivers are really smart drivers.
Yes, they are. Remember, if you remember last night, Sam, Kendall Paul had a wonderful long run speed. He was able.
Oh, he sure did.
He was able to run down the leaders. He might have been had that race stayed green. Kendall Paul might have been the one to take home the checkered flag. He was hauling the mail. The last caution flew. Everybody got a new pair of shoes. Kendall Paul forced to settle for second.
He was so fast, and it was going to be interesting to see if and when he were to catch Greg Evans in those front three cars. What he might have had for them, and he, in his opinion, he was still conserving tire, but we'll see what he has tonight. Man, there is a big battle going on right back here among these trucks from 8th place back. Keith Graham and Lewis Hayes, and there's just a pack of trucks.
Whoa! Say hey, Lewis Hayes.
Together.
Say hey, Lewis Hayes got loose.
Apron there.
Yeah, he got loose right.
Yeah.
He got loose, right? Still loose. In front of Ken Holland. That's going to let Matt Sisler, David Dunwoody go by high. Say hey, Lewis Hayes, and you're watching it from on the roof of the number 84 Ken Holland. Dunwoody gets by, and now Holland is going to go by on the high side. Say hey, Lewis Hayes, having a little bit of trouble here early, Sam. He's now lost 4 or 5 spots here in the last few laps. David Dunwoody is looking racy. He's going to try to get to the inside of Matt Sisler as Hayes races on with Holland.
Oh, Dunwoody was. Oh, and Dunwoody again gets loose off 2, which seemed to be his nemesis last night in the Grand National race. Turn 2.
Whoa, we've got big net code contact. Matt Sisler in the wall. Kirby in the fence. Colby Pierce. Yes, it was. Huge net code between Keith Graham still crashing down the backstretch. Huge net code contact between David Dunwoody and Matt Sisler is going to bring out the caution.
There's no question that was probably one of the worst cases of net code I've seen in a while.
Call it more curses of week 13. Here's Dunwoody. He's on the inside of Matt Sisler, and I want you to keep an eye, fans, on how much distance there is between those two trucks. It's a couple of feet. Sisler hard in the outside wall. Dunwoody spins. You've got Dunwoody spins. Justin Kirby takes a hit to the inside wall. We're going to show that. Colby Pierce also involved. Multiple trucks have had contact very early in this event. Justin Kirby and Tyler Moore have already brought their machines to pit lane. Keith Graham has retired his machine due to his contact. We're going to show that in just a second. But there's the incident, and there's really Justin Kirby checks up and gets pounded by Colby Pierce. Kirby and Pierce both hard into that inside wall. And then I'm interested to see what in the world happened with Keith Graham. It appeared as though he came off of turn number 2, lost the rear end of the machine, drove it to the bottom, overcorrected, steered it up and smacked the fence hard.
He was ahead of all this. He was ahead of this particular.
Yeah, he was
the big wreck on the front stretch.
He was the truck immediately in front of it.
Yes, exactly.
So an interesting set of circumstance befalls Keith Graham. It's almost like he heard caution called, got out of the throttle. The truck pivoted left. He overcorrects right, and that is hard contact. That will end his night, Sam.
Oh,
Tyler,
such a tough break. He had a fast truck, and it just didn't seem like the damage was that bad. He caught the right front.
No, and then Tyler Moore is going to get a piece of this too. Watch on board from his machine. He can't slow down. Hard into the 3 birdies machine of Matt Sisler. Tyler Moore has taken his truck to the pit lane. All kinds of problems here.
Again, we were talking about this before the event, just how quickly incidences can happen and how many trucks can be gathered up in these crashes, and that's exactly what we see here. Now some of these drivers that are in the back of the field, they have to make decisions if they're running for points or if they want to have a decent finish. Do they affect repairs at this particular time and stick it out, or drivers like Justin Kirby, how extensive are the damages to his truck? I mean, he's not racing for points. He's racing for trophies. And so does he stick it out? Does he try to race with a damaged race truck? There's just so many questions to be asked about those drivers that were involved.
There are many questions, and we're going to get some answers. Matt Sizzler, he was in his pit box for 20 seconds. He did not, Sam. Matt Sizzler did not go a lap down. Justin Kirby and Tyler Moore.
He also said he only had a minute and 10 of optional repairs out of all of that.
Yeah,
he did affect some repairs, but not all.
But not all, and that was something we talked about last night. We've got a battle between John Hutchins and Chuck Sweeting. These are playoff trucks now. At least Sweeting, Dunwoody, and Winstead in front of them. John Hutchins not involved in the playoff situation. And you'll notice drivers that are in the playoffs, they have the P next to their names. Ryan O'Donohue is in the playoffs. He is leading, and so good for Ryan O'Donohue. So far, so good for his playoff challenge. Chad Winstead is going to drop to the bottom of James Hodgson. There they go. We got a battle for third, Sam.
Well, there's a good reason that Chad Winstead put Hot Wheels on the side of that truck, is because that's exactly what he has, is some Hot Wheels. He has been literally trying to move up as fast to the front as he can. And you had even alluded in the pre-race program that he was excited about being back and being here racing again.
Most certainly so. O'Donohue continues.
Do you have an interval for how long Lewis Hayes was in there? Because Lewis Hayes was behind that contact, and I know he took some front end damage. So I was a little curious about how much damage that he had incurred or repaired in the pit stall that time.
0, Sam. Say hey, Lewis Hayes did not pit. He is back up to 8th spot. He's got David Dunwoody behind him, but Say Hey Lewis Hayes did not come to pit road, so he feels that his truck is okay. And those are decisions that you've got to make. Justin Kirby, he elected to get damage fixed and went the lap down, knowing that there's going to be a stage break at lap, and we've got a caution. It is Tyler Moore around, and so that's going to put Justin Kirby right back on the lead lap, Sam.
This was the culprit all night in the Grand National race last night, except for maybe a couple of incidences. But turn 4 is treacherous. I mean, it just seems to be one of the harder corners for people to navigate. And a lot of drivers last night were self-spinning in turn 4, and that's exactly what we see with Tyler Moore tonight. He was way by himself. There was no pressure in front or behind, but he just loses it in the middle of the corner and just slowly drifts into a slide coming off.
It does, and again, hard contact with the front of that Ford, and that is going to put him in the pit lane. Tyler Moore is the only truck on the pit road surface. You're going to see Justin Kirby come by. He's going to get his lap back, and so brother Brent says he caught a break. Let's go. He did. He still got some damage to the old pickup. But he's got a lot of time he can make it up from there. As long as you're on the lead lap, you're going to have a couple of stage breaks. You're going to have time. He's going to have time to work on that thing, Sam.
He sure is. And just doing a visual of the truck itself, there's a little ding on the front grille and maybe just a couple of scrapes. So it might be more wheel oriented damage. The front splitter's just got a little bit of wrinkle to it, the right front. So it looks like it's all repairable for Justin Kirby here, and he should be able to afford at least some of the repairs enough to kind of get the balance back to the truck. And you can see immediately when he hits the pit stall, some of those repairs are being implemented.
There are no fast repairs in the series, Brent, and that kind of we talked about this last night. It's a 47-second lap under caution, Sam. You've got to be on the spot if you're in the back of this field. You got to make sure if you're trying to get damage fixed, you got tires unchecked. You might take fuel, but you got tires unchecked for sure. You're only going to get a few seconds worth of work. Justin Kirby did all that to get on the pit lane. He got 8 seconds worth of damage. Matt Wagner 17 seconds under repair.
Being the lucky dog, he was even at more of a disadvantage.
Yes, he was. Matt Sizzler got 23 seconds, so He's down to under a minute of optional damage. Colby Pierce, 15 seconds repaired. But it's going to take several cautions, several yellow lights to get that truck completely fixed, or as fixed as they can make it. Meanwhile, Ryan O'Donoghue bursts out into the lead one more time. He's got Austin Hunn behind him, and the snarl starts behind John Hutchins. That's the party. That's Chuck Sweeting. He's got Lewis Hayes behind him. David Dunwoody is working the inside, Sam.
They're all going to fall in line here and give it a couple of laps to see if these trucks will get a little racier, a little bit more grip. Trucks that may have been in that big incident that we saw a couple of cautions go, the damage that they have on those trucks could tighten the truck up on a short run enough that they'll feel a lot more comfortable pushing the truck a little bit harder, especially when we're halfway through the stage. That it may cause more of a tight condition and the drivers feel like they can drive it a little better.
There you go. Speaking of driving it better, say hey Lewis Hayes all is on the bottom of the speedway. He is working on Chuck Sweeting. Sweeting on the top has 7th. Say hey Lewis Hayes in the 40 Raceware truck wants it. Is he going to clear him? Sam just got him. Put Say Hey Lewis Hayes up to 7th and move Chuck Sweeting back to 8th. And next up on the hit parade for Say Hey, it's going to be Series Director Kendall Paul. Take a tour or two around Bristol and in the driver's seat with Say Hey Lewis Hayes.
You think these drivers are getting in their head that they're going to have to let things settle down a little bit more? It doesn't seem like they're getting quite as racy at this point now that we have 4 drivers that are multiple laps down. Actually, I think those bottom 4 are actually not even in the race any longer unless Tyler Moore is still in the server.
Tyler Moore is still in the server. He's been on pit lane for 4 minutes and counting now. And I would assume, given that front end contact and the puff of smoke, that Tyler Moore's night is just about done. This gives you a great indication of not only how fast the lap...
Oh, we got a truck in the wall. Off of 2.
Is it David Dunwoody?
I was trying to see who that was, but they slammed the wall.
I believe that was David Dunwoody. We're going to see if we can't... Yeah, it was Dunwoody, all right. Here he is. He's running along behind Chuck Sweeting. He gets the truck just a bit high at apex. That baby's going to start getting squirrely. He starts dirt tracking. And remember, he did this last night, Sam, where he was...
He did. That turn 2 just seemed to hate him.
He's running that...
It was just a constant battle for him to cut that corner a little bit more, but that wall was the only thing keeping him from going out in the parking lot.
He does gather it back up and get it back under control, some 7.7 seconds. Behind the leader, he runs in front of what is a wounded Matt Sizzler, although I don't think that 28 is all that straight on the body panels any longer. Speaking of straightened body panels, Chuck Sweeting loses another spot. That's Mr. Excitement. Justin Osterman dropping to the inside, Sam.
There's going to be a lot of drivers that are going to try and take advantage of these the tire situation later in this run. And Justin Osterman, let's just face it, he's just not one driver that likes to sit back and just wait. He really likes to push the truck or the car, not to its limits, but he wants to push it as hard as he can and just to move up to the front. I mean, he's just that kind of driver. He doesn't like to just sit back. He wants to see what he can do, and I'm not surprised that he's closing in on Lewis Hayes here.
Not surprised. We're gonna give a look out the windshield of Justin Osterman, and he's got 2 guys in front of him, Say Hey Lewis Hayes and Kendall Paul, that both have proven time and again they like the long run. They're going to play the long game. The thing with this is, though, Sam, we've only got 14 laps to go until the end of this stage. We're already working lap 51, 52 now, and this just gives you a great indication of how fast these laps are here at Bristol.
Well, now we have Ryan O'Donoghue who's catching the back of the... Oh, Jeremy Dunwoody goes around out of turn 4 as the leaders are coming by. Wow. So close there.
There's the truck of Jeremy Dunwoody, and we're going to have a look. Same kind of a
Austin
deal, Sam.
Dunn probably was just really nervous at that particular point.
Yeah, there goes Jeremy Dunwoody down to the bottom. We're gonna get the old replay out, and we're gonna get on board Austin Hunt. Watch this out the helmet of Austin Hunt. There goes Jeremy Dunwoody.
I think he's really just trying his best to get out of the leader's way, give plenty of room. But that top side can be treacherous at times.
Yeah, it can be pretty slick up there. There goes Jeremy Dunwoody and Austin Hunt. My goodness gracious, his life flashes before his eyes right there, Sam.
You know he's thinking, no, not in front of me, no.
Either way, we are under caution one more time here at the Blackmagic Studios night race. Lap 54 of 200 is in the books. Ryan O'Donoghue has led them all. Austin Hunt has run second for the whole thing. Chad Winstead, James Hodgson, and John Hutchins round out your top five. Kendall Paul, Lewis Hayes, Justin Osterman, Chuck Sweeting, and Ken Holland are your top 10. Do want to thank series sponsor Archway Industrial Coatings. Archway Industrial Coatings is a St. Louis-based flooring company that have been getting the job done for years. They do epoxy and urethane flooring solutions that withstand the test of time, all while meeting their customers' installation schedules and budgets. They're committed to doing the highest quality work at the lowest possible cost every time, whether you're looking for industrial, commercial, restaurant, retail, or concrete repair at home. You found the perfect partner to get the job done now. Get ready to floor it with Archway. That's archwaycoatings.com. Looking at leader Ryan O'Donoghue under yellow. It is worth noting, Sam, the front nine have not made a pit stop. Sweeting, Sizzler, Kirby, Wagner, Seaman are coming down the pit lane. Colby Pierce will take advantage of that. He's going to move into the top 10. David Dunwoody.
You are within a window. I mean, this is an extended caution. I mean, you are within a window here. If you pitted, you'd only have a couple of laps of. I don't think that they're going to allow this to be the stage.
No, it's not. It wouldn't be.
So you could pit here and actually take advantage, of just a couple of laps on a set of tires, and you really wouldn't have to abuse them running in the back, and then make up tons of track position when the leaders come in to get fresh tires at the stage break.
Yeah,
I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity for something like that. And then if you have drivers like Lewis Hayes who may have some front end damage on that petty retro painted 40 racewear scheme truck, you could get in, get some repairs, get fresh rubber, and just take it easy. And when everyone pits, you could very well be in the lead.
No, it's another. In the caution, it's also a blessing for Matt Sizzler. Matt Sizzler. Again, we were talking about him. He had over a minute of optional damage. Sizzler, he's got another 20 seconds repair. 25 seconds repaired. David Dunwoody did 20 seconds worth of damage. Justin Kirby, Brent, your brother, got himself another 27 seconds worth fixed as well. Just keep chiseling away at it. We're going to have another caution here in just a few moments. Green flag is out. We are underway here one more time.
Oh,
and
what a big jump there.
Yeah, what a big jump. And it's going to be, it's not going to be very long before we have a stage caution here. Remember, that's upcoming once 10th place crosses the line, lap 65. We're watching Say Hey Lewis Hayes. He's got Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman, up on the top of him. Up to his top side, I should say. My goodness gracious, Sam.
Lewis Hayes is going to kind of forfeit that spot a little bit, still run his line, just kind of fall in line here. He probably knows more than well that there's going to be a stage caution. Yeah, it would be really to your detriment if you tried to get too racy at this particular juncture. Just kind of ride it out just to see that the caution comes out. Preserve the truck, get fresh rubber, effect repairs, and come back out and reload for the next stage. Sure, it doesn't seem to be slowing down Matt Sisler.
No,
it's
not.
Taking the high side and trying to make up as many positions as he can.
Well, he's not here. He's got a bunch of drivers around him that have the P that have the playoff designator. Matt Sizzler doesn't. He's here for trophies. He's going to put that baby up on the high side, and I think he must have most of the damage on that Three Birdies machine fixed. Either that or he's trying to get to the front just so he can get the rest of it fixed. The further up toward the front he is, the more time he gets to spend in his pit box. But he's going around John Hutchins now for 6th, and he's to the outside of Kendall Paul. Put Matt Sizzler in the
a caution here
5th.
coming up on this next time by.
We are Sizzler
loose.
loose.
Sizzler gets loose.
Hard.
Oh, he saves it, but he collects the inside wall and keeps the
truck.
I can't believe they missed him on that.
They did. Well, he didn't start getting loose until he got to the very bottom of the speedway, and everybody was in a position to be able to go by him.
Yeah,
that cost.
Just take that high side.
Well, but it cost him 9 spots, and he's going to have a little bit more than a minute of damage because
I would say that's significant left front damage on that 35 machine. There's no question. In fact, he's alluded in the server that he's just not a happy camper right now. He feels like that may be his night. He's not happy with how the truck's driving tonight, and that may be enough damage that it may persuade him because the fender's gone on that left front.
Yeah, anytime you're looking at a racing vehicle and there's a piece of bodywork that is missing because it looks like it's been
the suspension from the top.
you can see the suspension from the top, and the bodywork looks like it's been eaten by a shark. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Matt Sizzler is right now. Significant damage to that Three Birdies Toyota for Matt Sizzler. Ryan O'Donohue is the winner of the stage, and he is immediately going to turn that truck onto pit road.
Oh, look! Do I see what I think I'm seeing here? There are drivers that are not pitting. Chad Winstead, James Hodgson, John Hutchins, Kendall Paul. These drivers are not pitting.
No,
they're not pitting.
We've got a significant number of trucks that aren't pitting, and I think, Sam, you can probably make it on fuel with the amount of caution
especially with
laps.
the cautions we've had. Yeah, no question.
You can make it on fuel to that second stage break. The other thing that I'd like to point out, you've only got two sets of tires here to work with, so 2 sets in the pits, and so you're going to have to conserve them. And I think some of those drivers are thinking, man, I might like to have me an extra set for that last stage if there's a caution that comes out, with 35 laps to go, I might like to have me an extra set of tires. So split decision here. The front of the field, Chad Winstead, James Hodgson, John Hutchins, Kendall Paul, and Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman did not stop. Colby Pierce, he got gas only. David Dunwoody, Austin Hunn, Chuck Sweeting, Lewis Hayes, Colby Pierce and David Dunwoody, they did not stop. They last pitted, though, 15 laps ago. The leaders down the pit lane were...
actually, Lewis Hayes stopped that time, didn't he?
Yeah, so the beginning of the trucks on new tires, that's going to be Austin Hunn, Chuck Sweeting, Lewis Hayes, Justin Kirby, Ken Olland, Barry Seaman, Jeremy Dunwoody, Ryan O'Donohue, and Matt Sizzler. And Ryan O'Donohue has gone...
They're all the way at the back. Yeah, he's all the way at the back.
Well, he had a 25-second pit stop, so I don't know. There may have been damage on the number 14 of Ryan O'Donohue, but here's the green flag. Nonetheless, it's back out. Chad Winstead leads away on the old Goodyears. He has not yet stopped.
Matt Sizzler's alluded that the 15 seconds of damage that he still had yet to repair is now over 3 minutes. It takes a little more time to run out to the hauler and get a new fender.
They're not going to need just a new. They're going to need an English wheel, a welding set, some pins. I think that baby's going to go back.
Another rivet gun.
That's not unprecedented in NASCAR racing. I seem to remember a Daytona 500 Sam, 24 years ago, where a certain red number 8 car lost part of its front bumper and some guy named Yuri riveted one back on.
Wasn't that Martinsville?
No, that was at Daytona.
And he won the race?
No, well, he did win the race at Martinsville, something like that. But it was, and that was his grandfather clock. But no, it was in the Daytona 500. They pop riveted the fender back on, and then
Right.
and then NASCAR wound up parking him because they had, in order to make it so he had brakes, they had bypassed one of the corners because the caliper was damaged, and they didn't want to fix it, so they just bypassed the line and sealed it. So he only had 3-wheel brakes, and NASCAR parked him for unsafe conditions. He didn't have 4-wheel brakes, but yes, the front end was pop riveted on, and he drove that baby to the lead. That was a cool day at Daytona.
Oh, Lewis Hayes is loose in front of Ryan O'Donoghue. Whoa, what a save there.
Well, there's Ryan O'Donoghue, and Sam.
He's still loose in 1 and 2.
Yeah, there he goes. He went up the hill. That's going to let O'Donoghue and Sweeting go by. Say, hey, Lewis Hayes is definitely falling back a little bit. The good news is that he's got some familiar faces behind him. That's Justin Kirby, and then 40 Race where teammate Austin Hund is back there too. And so he's got some familiar faces. If he can just hang on here, that'll probably cut him a little bit of slack, Sam.
Well, we were discussing whether he had damage or not. Did he have any repair time that he was in the stall when he took his pit stop this last time by?
No, sir. Gas only, 6.1 seconds. And then
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. And let's see if we can't get a closer look at the truck for, say, hey, Lewis Hayes. Just these pictures here. Just these pictures here, it appears to be more or
the truck
less.
looks really good, yeah. I thought that he was significantly involved. I do see a little wrinkle on the left rear of the bumper, but it's nothing. I mean, honestly, it's just nothing. It may even be a glitch in what I'm looking at, but it's just a bump.
No, that doesn't.
If he changed tires at this pit stop, then that may explain why he has such a loose condition, and it could also explain why some of these drivers like Chad Winstead and others decided that they were going to stay out on used tires. They may have felt like that those tires would come up to temp a little bit faster, and they would be able to control the truck a little better. And new tires may take a little more time to come in as Justin Kirby goes by Lewis Hayes now.
Well, so I'm saying I don't think say hey Lewis Hayes took tires. He was in this pit box 6.1 seconds. Austin Hunt.
Oh, well, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Austin Hunt 7.1 seconds. Kirby 7.9 seconds. Chuck Sweeting 3.4. That indicates gas only to me, Sam.
You're exactly right, Mark, and I missed that detail when you were explaining it, so my apologies.
That's okay. I think Ken Allen is the first truck that took tires. I don't necessarily know that anybody else did. There's a lot of damage repair time in there, but it doesn't. There's only one just regular old 15-second stop, and that's Ken Allen. Ryan O'Donoghue has made it back up to the 4th spot, and he's going to start drawing a bead in there on Kendall Paul for 3rd. We're going to jump on board with Ryan O'Donoghue.
It makes you think that drivers that have stayed out, and you're watching someone like Lewis Hayes who's struggling, it makes you wonder if some of these drivers, the loose condition on older tires is a little more prevalent than even what we expected. But it sure hadn't hurt the leaders. I mean, with Chad Winstead decisively running out front, and James Hodgson following in his tire tracks. But the fresh tires of Ryan O'Donoghue are actually making their way up quickly through the field, and he should be catching these front 2 trucks within the next lap or so.
Yeah, Ryan O'Donoghue is definitely hauling the mail. His last time, 15.496. He has gotten past Kendall Paul. Next up on the hit parade is James Hodgson, and that's not going to take long. Ryan O'Donoghue 0.3 of a second quicker than James Hodgson the last time through. There he goes past Hodgson. Next up is Chad Winstead. Winstead would be for the lead, and now does Ryan O'Donoghue play it the other way? Where is he thinking he can make it to the end of the race on that one stop?
Oh heavens! I would I would dare to say that I would want fresh tires before the end of the race, especially if I had them. And that may be his strategy. Just change tires at both stage breaks, and then just ride it out from there. That may be his plan all along. Because the last stage will be the shortest of the stages.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution is on the
Speedway. Caution on
speedway.
the
It's David
speedway.
Dunwoody. Dunwoody is on the inside of the backstretch, and he has made impact with that inside retaining wall. And here's David Dunwoody. And I bet you, Sam, that baby breaks loose just off of two. As it does, around she goes. He gets it locked
It sure
down. And he actually doesn't hit anything. So David Dunwoody is going to be okay. He does go a lap down, though, Sam.
Right. Right.
So we are under caution 96 of 200, just about halfway, Sam. Remember, fans, we're going to have another stage break at lap 135. Ryan O'Donoghue had gone to the lead on Chad Winstead before the yellow came out. And now it's an interesting situation for those who didn't pit. You've got Winstead, Hodgson, Paul, Osterman, and Hutchins that did not pit under the stage break. Do they pit here, or do they stay out and wait for the next stage?
Oh man,
You can.
I'm really interested. Honestly, none of these pit strategies are playing out. Well, I can't say none, but a lot of these pit strategies are not playing out the way that I anticipated these drivers to do them. I think Lewis Hayes may well. I mean, the way that truck was handling, he may go in and get some rubber, but some other drivers are. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. With the number of cautions that we're having, they may be thinking that if they can save one more set of tires by the end of the race and there'll be a late race caution, it'll put them at an advantage. But what do you do if you leave a set in there and then that never materializes? That's where the gambling of this sport comes in. Is that if you take chances like that, that's exactly what they are chances. David Dunwoody's going to be coming into the pit area here, and he's going to be hitting his pit stall very quickly. What a great tribute paint scheme. Black Magic Studios paint on that truck, that Chevrolet Silverado. And it looks like he is still fixing the truck. He's not going to be changing tires this time by Matt Wagner. Also is just quietly been running his race tonight. Matt Wagner's trying to afford himself a clean end to the race tonight. Matt's just really befallen some unfortunate circumstances in a lot of his races, but again, he's not. It doesn't look as though he's changing tires either. And the lights are out on the pace truck.
Lights are out on the pace truck, Sam.
And we're gonna right.
I've been trying to say a little bit less and preserve my voice just a little bit more. Last night was kind of rough in the coughing department. I also drank about 4 glasses of hot tea before I got behind the broadcast desk tonight, trying to make sure we don't lose it. Last night was kind of rough. Sam, we've got Ryan O'Donoghue, and he's going to have the break and much newer tires over Winstead, Hodgson, Paul, and Osterman. Here we go. Halfway home in the Black Magic Studios night race in the Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. Ryan O'Donoghue leads it away from Winstead, Hodgson, and Paul. Kendale Paul going to try to jump up to the top side, see if he can't get around James Hodgson. And Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman, has moved into 5th, Sam. That's always a fun time. When you see that name, Osterman, near the front of the field, you're headed for a great night at the races. Brent Kirby, try some brandy. You know, if I didn't have to work, not brandy, but if I wasn't working the microphone tonight, there might be some bourbon involved.
Oh heavens!
No brandy,
You guys.
but bourbon. Bourbon will cure any cold that ails you, Sam. It'll even cure colds that don't ail you.
Oh heavens!
Sam is well aware of my noted affinity for bourbon. I enjoy any bourbon. I enjoy any bourbon that anybody else does, as long as it's
being a non-drinker. I would say that I don't have a dog in that fight, so to speak.
You can have any bourbon you want in my house, Sam, as long as it's Woodford double oaked in in a rocks glass with one ice cube. Anything you like. Justin Osterman's made his way past Kendall Paul. Osterman the fourth. He's working on James Hodgson. The front two have kind of skedaddled away from this fight. Winstead has still got Ryan O'Donoghue, I don't want to say in his sights, but he's not losing a huge amount.
Letting him get, yeah, right. He's not letting him jump out to a huge lead at this point. But
there you go.
Up, nose to tail, all behind him.
Yeah, and you can see the gap from Winstead's rear bumper back to Hodgson, Osterman, and Kendall Paul et al. The conga line starts with James Hodgson. The conga line starts with James Hodgson. He's got him kind of jammed up back there. And speaking of jammed up, Justin Kirby drops to the inside of Colby Pierce, move Kirby up one more spot. Pierce is going to try to fight back on the inside, though, Sam. Or outside, excuse me.
You know, whether he was involved in the incident or not, Justin Kirby is a wheelman, and Justin Kirby will do the best that he can possibly do, whether that truck's damaged or not. He's going to prove himself. If he can get the long runs, I'd be interested to see how Justin is able to handle that truck, because he really is a master at saving tires. I'm really surprised that we haven't seen Austin Hunn make more of a push toward the front. He was incredibly fast in the first stage at the beginning of the race. Very racy with Chad Winstead and James Hodgson and Ryan O'Donoghue. And so maybe there may be a strategy on Austin Hunn's part too, that a tire strategy that he is working as well. Some drivers really may, if there's only 2 extra sets of tires, the thought may be just stay out through the 2 stages, get your tires changed, and if you get a late race caution, you'll have a set waiting for you. And that may be the mindset for a lot of drivers, and probably by all practical purposes, it would be the smartest. As we see Colby Pierce, who will make that pass on Austin Hunn. And next on the tailgate of the 02 will be the 80 of Justin Kirby.
Yep, there comes Justin Kirby. He's going to turn it hard left to the inside. Around Austin Hunt he goes. Maybe. There he goes. Justin Kirby goes past Austin Hunt. Move Kirby to 8th, Hunt to 9th. Brent Kirby chimes in and says if the truck was about 15% tighter, it would be lights out. So how many rounds a wedge is that, Sam? I know clicks of weight jacker, but I do not.
Actually, no, that's a great question. I believe that if you're incrementally doing that, you're getting about 10% help for every half turn of wedge. So it can be as much as 10% for a half turn.
So just make it 3/4 of a turn a wedge. We would be
Justin Osterman gets incredibly loose in the middle of 1 and 2, saves the truck, but he loses 3 positions. And I was just on the precipice of saying just how impressed I was at this particular Justin Osterman that we're seeing tonight, because he's being so patient and he's just running the line, staying with traffic. He's being very thought-provoked about how he makes his passes or looking at his passes. He just got a little loose there in 1 and 2, but he saved it. Just a great job of saving the truck, and he falls back in line.
Yes, he did. Great job from Justin Osterman. And I do want to point out the word patience and thoughtful. The words patience and thoughtful are not words that we normally use to describe Justin Osterman.
That's why I was saying I'm so impressed with his race tonight. I really am.
I will say this: we've done a lot of work. I was unable to run the Indy 6 hours, but him and Kendall Paul finished 3rd in the Indy 6 hours in their split. And I got to believe that running the endurance car is helping him learn and understand patience. We see,
His race management. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's we're starting to get him to learn. We're starting to get him to learn. What how to understand and take apart a race. Justin Kirby, all kinds of problems. We saw him get loose a couple of laps ago, and he's going to drop that truck all the way back to the 12th spot. So
Wow.
Justin Kirby handling issues plaguing that number 80. We're going to get back up front because there's no handling issue plaguing Kendall Paul. He is all over the back of James Hodgson.
Yeah, I don't see how Justin Kirby is. It's taking every. I'm glad I said he was a wheelman because he's got a handful of that truck right now. He is all over the racetrack, especially in 1 and 2. It's all he can do to keep that truck straight, pointed in the right direction. That Sisler, considering the damage that he had to that left front, I'm really surprised that he's still out on the track and running the lap times that he's running. He's doing a great job with the damaged race truck.
Yes, he is. He's about 0.3 of a second off the pace. He just went by Justin Kirby, so moves Sizzler into the 12th spot. And there's the number 35, 3 Birdies machine. He does have a ton of damage on it. It's a little bit, 3 minutes, he said?
Yeah, at the time of the incident, he said that it was over 3 minutes.
So, he's not fighting with a full.
Oh, we have caution on the Speedway.
We've got caution. It's Dunwoody one more time. David Dunwoody spins to the inside of the backstretch wall, and I don't believe he had any help. Sam, let's see what's befallen David Dunwoody. And would you guess it, Sam? Comes off a turn 2. Around she goes.
Boy, it's been more than his nemesis. It has been a plague for that 28 machine all night long, and last night too. I'm just interested to know why it just seems to be so difficult on David Dunwoody, and why he just has a tendency to lose it in that particular corner so frequently.
It's got to be a stylistic. It's got to be a stylistic thing, Sam. We did hear from Brent that Justin Kirby's tires had died, and so he'll have a chance to come in and fit new ones here. I would assume,
this is the end of the stage. The administration's actually talking about this. This particular caution would be the stage break. They'll extend the caution by a number of laps to stay within the spectrum of the race layout. And so, if you need to take a break here, folks, and you need to step away for just a minute, there's going to be several laps of pace speed, and then the pits will be open for the drivers to be making a decision on tires, and we'll get back to racing here in just the next 5 laps or so.
Yes, we will. And while they make these caution laps, stay tuned for these messages from Blackmagic Studios. Sam, I sure hope everybody took the opportunity right there to pop some popcorn, grab another ice cold Coca-Cola out of the refrigerator, because Ryan O'Donoghue has jetted off to the lead from his front row starting spot for the final stage restart, and he's got Chad Winstead in hot pursuit. Sam.
Yeah, it sure does. And now you've got drivers who took this last opportunity at the caution at the stage break to get fresh tires, just as Chad Winstead, James Hodgson, and several others. The two that stayed out at the front was Lewis Hayes and Ryan O'Donoghue, who had actually taken on tires earlier. And so now you're going to see what the differences are between what these trucks are capable of between trucks that have several laps on their tires and then trucks that are sporting new Goodyear Eagles.
Yeah, there's the pylon. It'll tell you the story on the pit stops. Ryan O'Donoghue, he last stopped at the stage break previous to this. Kind of what we had thought was that he was going to stay out and preserve a spare set of tires for a late race restart. Same for Lewis Hayes. He stopped at a caution flag about halfway between the stages, and so he has 30 laps less on his tires. But Lewis Hayes really loose in that top line.
Still battling that truck.
He is still battling that. He's still battling that truck. Indeed, Kendall Paul goes by. He's got Austin Hund to his inside now. Hund will go past, and they are lined up to the inside. All these drivers are
on fresh tires.
Yeah, they're lined up to the inside to say, Lewis Hayes. Here comes Justin Kirby to his inside.
All of these trucks pitted at the stage break to get fresh tires.
Yes, they did. Now, here's the thing. Everybody will have used all of their tires with, I believe, the exception of, Lewis Hayes and Ryan O'Donoghue. They would be
Correct.
The only two trucks that have a set. So if we get a caution here with, let's say, 30, 35 to go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it could be day and night. Just like what we're seeing here within the first 10 laps of this restart and how these drivers are passing Lewis Hayes. You could see that same thing reoccur if there's a caution that comes out with, say, 30 to go or so.
You could. Let's flip-flop back up to the front, because Chad Winstead has gone past Ryan O'Donoghue, and that was going to be the one thing that I was gonna think about. Would Ryan O'Donoghue be able to hold on up there? He was not able to do it. Ryan O'Donoghue is now second, and he is losing ground rapidly to Chad Winstead, and he is falling.
And I think James Hodgson will probably catch him as well.
Yeah, he's fallen into the clutches of James Hodgson in a hurry. Last time by for Ryan O'Donoghue, 15.537, a 4:21 for James Hodgson, 2:31 for Kendall Paul. So third and fourth are definitely coming on Ryan O'Donoghue. Same for Austin Hund. His last lap was a 2:90. So the trucks behind.
I think Hodgson is still running. Honestly, I think Hodgson is really running conservative laps compared to what Kendall Paul and Austin Hunt are running. I think that he's still being very conservative with that truck.
I think he is. Chad Winstead is streaking away. He's built nearly a 1 second lead. It'll be a second when he comes off of turn number 4 here, or turn number 2 rather. But when you look at the lap times, Ryan O'Donoghue has definitely given up some time. He's wanting a caution. Same for Lewis Hayes. Everybody else, they're in the Brent Kirby bucket. They're saying no more cautions. Ryan O'Donoghue to the high side.
Oh, this whole pack of trucks have called Ryan O'Donoghue.
Yes, they have. Austin Hunt almost has to take evasive action to get to the bottom. O'Donoghue sticks to the top line. Around goes Hunt. Around goes Kirby. And O'Donoghue, it's not going to be long before he falls into the clutches of John Hutchins and Justin Osterman here.
Yeah, the other truck that did not take tires and still has one set still in the pit area is Lewis Hayes, and he has fallen almost 6 seconds back in 10th spot. So you can see the difference in what these fresh tires can do. And those two drivers are probably just looking at the racing gods and asking, is there a caution for me here before the end of this race? Is there one more caution?
I was going to say, Sam, for Ryan O'Donoghue, as we watch Osterman and John Hutchins go past, for Ryan O'Donoghue, my question was going to be, if he was able to hold that lead, would he come in and take those extra tires? The answer was moot point, right? He's going to be in the back anyway now. He and St. Louis Hayes are going to be back there anyhow. They might as well.
Tyler Moore in the wall up ahead of this crowd. Yeah, it's very close.
It is. There is James Hodgson. He is working behind Tyler Moore, and Moore, he is just riding.
Still in the wall.
Yeah, he's riding.
He's doing the best he can to get out of the leader's way.
That almost would be intentional, just trying to stay out of the way. Barry Seaman.
Colby Pierce and Barry Seaman there.
Yeah, Colby Pierce, Barry Seaman, they get together. Seaman to the high side. He's going to come down and gets loose and nearly gets into Kendall Paul.
That's incredibly close. Just a near miss of a catastrophe there with Kendall Paul and Barry Seaman. Those two drivers making contact coming off the turn forward. Now Colby Pierce is trying to just keep the truck straight and allow these lead lap trucks to get by. He's going to stay in the high line. It's very, very treacherous up there. He's going to try and cut that corner off of turn 4 and not get up in the marbles up in the top. That's where the truck seems to lose a lot of grip for these drivers.
Whoa!
He's loose on 2.
He lost the grip, Sam, but he saved it. Meanwhile, the battle rages. Winstead.
Oh, he hits the wall on the front stretch. Colby Pierce, all he can do to keep that truck pointed in the right direction.
He still got it pointed in the right direction, but Colby Pierce has had his moments in that silver and red spoilered machine. Not in the playoffs is Colby Pierce, and he's fallen back into his battle with Barry Seaman. They were going at it for position there, so just to kind of note, they were in a fight that's legitimate. Ryan O'Donoghue is going to be next up. He is kind of stabilized in about 8th spot, although he's been caught by Ken Holland and Matt Sisler. Say Lewis Hayes is now in 11th, and the thing for Hayes and O'Donoghue, they're some 5-6 seconds behind the leaders. That's a half a lap here. They're gonna want, Sam. They're gonna want to get going, either that or get their caution. And the window for effectiveness of that caution is rapidly closing. 37 laps to go. Kendall Paul has moved into the 2nd spot and gone past James Hodgson. So Kendall Paul is going to set sail after Chad Winstead, who is just now putting a lap on Jeremy Dunwoody. Next truck up the road would be Chuck Sweeting, and they've got about let's call it a third of a lap before they get to Chuck Sweeting. So we watch Austin Hunt. He's going to work his way to the inside of James Hodgson.
Oh, it's quite a while before they get they'll get to Dunwoody before they get to Sweeting.
Well, for sure. I mean, Jeremy Dunwoody is there, and he's in front of Kendall Paul. But
Sweeting is actually still on the lead lap. He's the last truck on the lead lap.
Right. They've got about a third of a lap before they get to him. He's about 5 seconds up the road from Chad Winstead yet. We're watching the battle for third. That's James Hodgson in the forward-facing 88 that has it. Austin Hunt behind him in the 40 Raceware machine wants it. Kendall Paul is ahead of them in second. He's working to the inside of the lap machine of Jeremy Dunwoody.
Could we be seeing a repeat of what Kendall Paul was trying to achieve last night? Could we've seen where Kendall Paul was being so conservative at the beginning of his run that he was saving enough tire to make a concerted effort to go for the lead? Because it seems like that's what we're seeing. Oh, Jeremy Dunwoody in the wall right in front of. Oh, there's contact between Justin Osterman and Justin Kirby. Osterman's able to get underneath him. Wow, that was an accident that never happened.
That appeared to be a move. I saw 2 taps there, Sam. There's the third tap. So that's the Justin Osterman that we've come to know and love. He gives Justin Kirby the old I'm coming through, and Osterman will move his truck up to 5th. Kirby is going to go back to 6th. He's going to do battle with John Hutchins, who is the next truck in line in 7th. But Kendall Paul, you raise a good point. last night, last long run, Kendall Paul, he was reeling in Greg Evans when the caution flew
He's
and everybody
a bit faster than Chad Winstead, but of course Chad Winstead's been navigating through some traffic right now as well, so it's hard to make a determination just based on that. That time by, he's at 15.9. Kendall Paul's at 15.8. And there's still 25 laps left in this race, so I mean, anything can happen.
Do we need to cue the Jaws music, Sam?
No, not yet. We're not quite there yet. You got to wait for the fin to come out of the water.
Let's just hope it's not the same shark that took a bite out of Matt Sizzler's truck. Sizzler, by the way, has moved himself back into the 8th spot, past Ken Holland and Ryan O'Donohue. Yeah. O'Donohue and Say Hey Lewis Hayes, they have fallen all the way back to 10th and 11th after having not stopped under that last caution. Ryan O'Donohue, 108 laps on his tires. Meanwhile, the truck in between, the leader is the second truck up the road. That is Chad Winstead. Kendall Paul.
Yeah, you remember earlier I had made the comment about Austin Hunn. I was wondering why he was just kind of mired back in, that battle for 5th place, but he just passed Kendall Paul for 2nd, and now he has set his sights on Chad Winstead, because a former winner here at this track is now wanting to repeat that at Bristol as he's trying to catch the 34 machine.
Now, I would assume, Austin Hund is very, very quick here. I will say this, as long as the margin of victory is not more than 2.45 seconds, I'm in good shape.
Someone's ego might be a little hurt. Oh, Kobe Pierce again in the wall.
And Chad Winstead is amongst the traffic. They've got Barry Seaman.
It's traffic really bad right here. Kobe Pierce washed this up in front of Matt Wagner.
Yeah.
Great job by Matt Wagner right there to avoid that.
And so here's the snarl that Austin Hund is trying to navigate. Kendall Paul too. They've got Wagner. They've got Colby Pierce. They've got Barry Seaman up there. Remember, Pierce and Seaman are battling for position. So it's not a given that they've got to pull over and let these trucks go. But that did hurt Austin Hund just a hair. More farm or Tyler.
It allowed Winstead to just kind of get a little breathing room here between he and Hund.
Yes, indeed. Winstead pulled it back out to a 1.1 second advantage, but just as soon as the traffic cleared and Austin Hund got a clean lap, he pulled it back. He pulled it back under a second, just very briefly. Now he's dealing with the lap truck of Barry Seaman. I think that the 40 Racewear truck of Austin Hund is probably a little bit quicker than Chad Winstead, but he's only got 15.
I was going to say the same thing, Mark. That's exactly right. The laps are clicking off incredibly quick here. And even at this particular juncture, even if Ryan O'Donohue and Lewis Hayes were to catch a late race caution, it would be very difficult to make their way up through the field to utilize those tires at this point. So unless we get into a lot of green-white checkers and they can survive the chaos that may unfold there. But now things are starting to sort out for these drivers. We see is that Justin Osterman, who is now on the inside of Kendall Paul, and they're working diligently to decide who's going to have that 3rd spot. That's going to be a battle right there. These two drivers now that they're running close to the end of this event, they're going to be working hard to see who gets that podium finish. I'm surprised that people want to fight that hard for a podium finish when they have to come in here and speak to us, but it must be for some bragging rights. And so Justin Austin.
Kendall Paul.
Oh, and Kendall Paul got loose.
Yeah, Kendall Paul, I believe, has used up the tires, and Barry Seaman spins in front of him.
Oh, no,
Seaman hard on the wall.
Spins on the front stretch. Caution out with 10 laps to go.
Well, that's going to change everything, Sam. There's the damage on the 55.
It's definitely going to make things interesting because we've already seen Ryan O'Donohue start from the back of the field, and he is so anxious to get up to the front. These drivers now have 50 laps plus on these tires. Ryan O'Donoghue and Lewis Hayes are going to be the only two trucks with fresh tires on this restart.
Yeah, they're going to come in and strap them on for sure. Watch
Yeah,
Barry.
for sure. Sure.
Watch Barry Seaman. He hits the apron. He's going to spin out right in front of Justin Osterman and Kendall Paul. And no contact from those two. Great bit of driving from both Paul and Osterman. Barry Seaman, hard contact. But here we go. We're going to put the camera on Ryan O'Donoghue and say, hey, Lewis Hayes, because when the pits open, I'd just be willing to bet you a shiny new dime, Sam. Those two trucks are going to turn it left. They're going to come down pit road.
Caution. Why are they extending this caution? Oh, no. Why are they doing this? I don't know that I would have called that, but they've extended the caution a number of laps. That cannot be making drivers that are getting their last set of tires very happy. They need as many laps as they can get to utilize those fresh tires. Wow. So now it's been extended by another lap. It's 4 laps to green.
O'Donoghue's.
Does Sweeting also have a set of tires as well?
We're going to check that out. Let's see if Chuck Sweeting goes up on the jacks. Justin Osterman appears to be coming in to get tires. I see his car being serviced, or his truck being serviced. There's Hayes. There's O'Donoghue. And Sweeting does have a set.
Tires, yeah, Sweeting goes up for tire change as well.
So this is going to get...
O'Donoghue goes up for a tire change.
Yeah, this is going to get really interesting really quick. Chad Winstead, Ken Holland, Jeremy Dunwoody did not stop. Austin Hund. Justin Oster.
Here's a little insight, and this is just me talking. Is that these drivers now, if they came in and got fresh tires, play, in my opinion, would be don't fill the tank up.
Yeah, no gas. If you've got enough fuel, if you've got enough fuel to make it,
enough fuel.
No fuel.
Yeah, because you want that tight, less fuel. Fresh tires will tend to make the truck a little bit tighter on fresh tires, and so actually for this whole run it will be incredibly tighter and much more manageable, and you won't be quite so loose on cold tires. And so some drivers they manually set it where they fill the truck up every time that they go in, but if you're in this position and you have a fresh set of tires, like several of these drivers, it was more than what we thought. It's more than just Lewis Hayes and Ryan O'Donoghue, but Chuck Sweeting and maybe another driver or two, but maybe even James Hodgson for that matter. But you see these drivers that come in and get tires. If they do not get gas, it may make the truck so much more drivable that they can push it a little bit harder. These drivers are so happy to be with fresh tires like Sweeting and O'Donoghue. They're probably very excited to be on the top side, that they might be able to take advantage of those runs on the top. And so here we're coming to green. We're coming to green. Stay tuned, folks. Let's see how this plays out.
Ken Holland is the jam car on the top. Chad Winstead gets the break. Austin Hund is second. It is feeding time at the zoo. Behind Ken Holland, hard in the wall. Justin Osterman in the wall.
Is loose off
Kirby
the floor.
spins. We've got synchronized spinning. There are at least 3 trucks that went around, including James Hodgson, Ryan O'Donoghue, and I believe Justin Kirby, and those were all separate incidents. And so we need to get back and watch this synchronized synchronized spinning. Here we go, Sam. They're 3 wide. That's Allen on the top. He's going to hit the wall. You've got Osterman alongside Kirby. And Osterman and Kirby are going to make contact.
Trucks out of control there, Alpha 4. I mean, it's almost like somebody threw the fluid out on the racetrack. So many trucks were just spinning there and out of control off of turn 4.
Okay, so there's Justin Kirby. There's one.
And Ryan O'Donoghue, he's trying to make passes. Justin Kirby washes up into Osterman there, clings him out. James Hodgson's just trying to save the truck on the front stretch. He's spinning. Justin Kirby's called it a night. He's gotten out of the truck. He's done for the evening.
Boom. Okay, so the Hodgson deal was completely separate. He was trying to save it and was struck in the rear by the 53.
O'Donoghue was just a pinball.
Yeah, and so we're going to see what happened to Ryan O'Donoghue here. He's in the top line. He's following John Hutchins.
Osterman is probably thinking by this point, is there any other truck that I cannot hit on this particular corner? Lewis Hayes watching at the racetrack, and he's caught in an incident as well.
So there's Ryan.
He was one of those trucks that was damaged, that he'd been saving tires.
Now, that Lewis Hayes was one that I did not see spin in real time, and so
actually he was avoiding what was happening. He was seeing the truck spinning in front of him, and he was just trying to avoid a little bit. And Ken Allen was on the outside of him, and they made contact, and that just nosed Lewis Hayes into the outside fence. I don't think that the damage was too extensive, but enough that he may come. He's coming in for repairs.
This is on board.
Justin Kirby, and now what what we see now is we see Matt Sisler, who had destroyed the truck earlier in the event, who doesn't have a right front fender or left front fender, and now Matt Sisler is running in 4th position, and we're getting ready to go green on a green-white checker. And we do have unlimited green-white checkers here in the AMA.
That is unlimited fun. Justin Kirby in the chat has apologized. It's taking fault for the incident. There were multiple incidents and multiple faults there, Justin. So don't feel bad. But here we go. You've got Austin Hund up front. You've got Chad Winstead to the outside. They're going to haul it off into turn number 1 and 2. Austin Hund grabs the lead, and Winstead has a black flag.
Oh no!
Chad Winstead, black flag.
Now the next flag ends this race. Matt Sisler is battling Kendall Paul for the 3rd spot. Who's going to get this podium finish? Kendall Paul's going to race him off. And Chad Winstead actually has a black flag. He will not be able to.
He will not be scored here.
He will not be able to be scored in the end of this event.
So there's Austin Hund, Austin Hund is your winner. Matt Sisler is going to be scored 2nd. Kendall Paul is going to bring it home 3rd. Justin Osterman 4th. Chuck Sweeting 5th. I believe that penalty on Chad Winstead is going to be a restart infraction, Sam.
It has to be. That's the only thing it could be.
Yeah, it's going to be
Matt Sisler noses out Kendall Paul by 0.08 of a second for 2nd place tonight.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at this again, just one more time. So first, the penalty on Chad Winstead, and let's see.
I'm going to get on board here with Chad Winstead and see, because I believe he was our leader.
He was not. Austin Hund was the leader, and
Austin Hund had made the lead. Okay.
I think it's awfully difficult to tell, Sam. There's the restart zone, but I think
he got a great jump, but I don't know that he was in front.
Well, there's the restart zone. Okay, so there it is. So Chad Winstead briefly, you can see it, goes ahead of Austin Hund in the restart box. It's just very slight. Watch here. Right there. Right there, you can see it.
Yes. His nose is right ahead of the O2 on the restart.
It is. So,
but that's so close. That's really just so close. I can't believe that it called that, because he didn't beat him to the line.
No.
And it was not a significant advantage, but I understand what you're saying. He actually anticipated the start ahead because the leader dictates the start.
Yeah, and there's the finish between Winstead or between Sizzler and Kendall Paul. Sizzler just by 12 thousandths of a second gets that taken care of, and that is going to be the end, Sam, of the Blackmagic Studios night race here at Bristol. I'm assuming there's probably some controversy going on down on pit road with Chad Winstead
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of discussion and looking, just looking at the details of this thing. Chad Winstead got an incredible start, and he was 4 mile an hour at the beginning of this start. He anticipated it so well, but there's not a decided advantage for him here. It is just the particulars of iRacing and what they've laid out as far as the code is concerned, so that drivers do not take advantage of the leader. But it is so minimal what you see here. He did get a great restart, but he did not gain an advantage.
yeah,
There was not an advantage there.
and that's a tough thing.
So there is some discussion in the server about what happened and how it's playing out, because even if he did get a good jump, it was not so much of a jump that he took advantage of the leader, or that it changed the outcome of what happened at the start either. So I'll be interested to see how the officials score this thing, and if they will incur a standing change for Chad Winstead.
So we're going to call
or
these
if they will let iRacing's
penalty stand.
their ultimate decision, if the iRacing's decision stand.
So we're going to call these
Wow.
results unofficial. Austin Hund is your winner. That part we know. Matt Sizzler and Kendall Paul, they're second and third. That is the unofficial part. Justin Osterman, Chuck Sweeting, Ryan O'Donohue, John Hutchins, James Hodgson, Jeremy Dunwoody, and Ken Holland are going to round out your top 10. In 11th, Matt Wagner, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, is going to come home 12th. Chad Winstead, as it stands, was not scored for the last 2 laps. He is currently credited with 13th. More to come on that, perhaps. David Dunwoody, 14th. Barry Seaman, 15th. Colby Pierce is 16th. Does not finish. Justin Kirby, Tyler Moore, Keith Graham, Donald Green, and Chad Dulabon is going to be scored shotgun on the field. I bet we're going to have a fun interview room, Sam. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got here.
I bet it wasn't even a foot of a difference between Matt Sisler and Kendall Paul there at the start finish line. That was incredibly close.
All right, so
1,000th of a second.
So first person we're going to talk to is Kendall Paul. Kendall, you've got Murph, you've got Sam in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, got you guys. What's going on?
All right, so you are scored third in what turned out to be a whale of a race between you and Matt Sizzler. We understand there may be some controversy about the finish. So talk to us about your race first. Very similar to last night, great long run speed. You were in the discussion for the top 5 for most of the evening, and you bring it home either third or fourth, depending on what the officialdom decides. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, it was just going in the same mental space like I did last night, is to conserve those tires and be there, have a truck at the end, and that's, I think, where the 78 shines, is on the long run pace. So that's what we just keep going with, and but yeah, it was just conserve those tires at all, and turned out really nice for us, and a really good finish either way.
It's another great showing, Kendall. It's always a pleasure to watch to see how you will whatever it is that you're driving. Of course, the finish and being an administrator here at the AMA, will there be any changes to the finishing order?
It's right now. It's kind of this is kind of a sticky situation. With the rules and with iRacing rules and that sort of stuff. By rule, we cannot clear that black flag that's issued by iRacing. but if we go back and look at it, and it's clearly an iRacing glitch, like I think there's like 3 glitches here at Bristol, it seems like. And I mean, I'll even vouch for Chad. Even if he does get it, I got the same penalty I think it was last time we were here on the restart, on the initial start of the race in the Grand National Series. So I know the feeling of getting that penalty because I've got it before, and it sucks. But it's going to just come down to a review. It's going to come down to a vote on the executive board, and we'll just have to wait and see and find out.
The review committee will have time to look at that. I've
yeah,
got
yeah, and it's going to be a thorough review because this is playoffs, and this ultimately decides his playoff hopes for him. And
Oh yeah, there's so much at stake here,
right.
and that's why I would be amiss not to at least ask and see what your thought
Right.
process is.
Yeah, we're going to definitely take a look at it. It's not going to be tonight, not going to be probably this weekend. It's going to be into Monday, Tuesday before we have a ruling on it. But yeah, we'll take a look at it and see what it comes out as.
Well, regardless of the administrative decisions that have to be made, Kendall, another great showing, another great opportunity for you to share with us all your shout outs. And so you're welcome to share those, not just with us, but we've still got a great crowd with us that are still listening in. And so you know the routine. The floor is yours.
Yeah, it's always like I did last night. Got to thank Archway Natural Coatings. Those guys are truly amazing to us and let us do what we need for the league, and always very supportive. And same goes for Sean Mott and Jason Southern. Those 2 guys really help us out getting this league where it is today. So I can't thank those guys enough. It really means a lot. And ready to see what this league has in the future. Got to thank all the other sponsors: Black Fennec Studios, Admin Box, Trak Race, Rogue Energy, all those guys that put some sort of form into the league and give us their kind contributions, whichever way they seem is beneficial for both parties. So I got to thank them as well. They've done great work for us, and I got to thank them, and I can't thank them enough either. Got to shout out the whole team and everything, and it makes these races a lot more enjoyable, and definitely was really helpful for the strategy tonight. Pulling some stuff out of the hat was interesting to see how it was going to play out, and luckily it played out really well for us. So gotta thank the whole team, and gotta thank you guys up here in the booth. I think the broadcast look awesome and everything. Gotta thank all the AMA staff, and thanks for everybody watching at home. Really appreciate it. It means that we're doing something right if we got a crowd. So gotta thank you guys all at home watching, and gotta thank everybody, all the first responders and everything, especially during this week. And
Yes, sir.
like I said, those words never forgotten mean a lot right now. So
Amen. Yes, sir.
So thinking about that too. So that's special to get up 2 top 3s in a race weekend.
It's a good week. It's definitely a good week.
Yeah, turn the bus around.
It is indeed, Kendall. Well, keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yep, we'll see it, guys.
That is Kendall Paul. He is going to finish 3rd today. For 2nd place, still one of the hottest drivers in the AMA, not figuring in the playoffs. The truck looks like it got a shark bite out of the left front, but Matt Sizzler, you got Murphy, you got Sam in the P1 broadcasting booth, and somehow you brought that baby home 2nd.
I have no idea how either. Absolutely. Like, it was a little damage from that early accident, and we were going to get it fully repaired at the end of stage 1, and I got really aggressive going for stage points just because, everybody was running the bottom, and then just a little bit too much throttle, and it slammed the inside wall. I didn't think we were going to get back up there, but it got slowly a little bit better, and thank goodness this is one of the tracks on the schedule where its aero doesn't really hurt you all that much. I was concerned, new aero model, could it be worse? But our 3 Birdies Tundra really drove just perfectly fine, even with the left front, as you said, had a shark bite out of it. We just got lucky with that last caution, being able to slip through. I think either James or somebody missed the rear of my truck by inches, and we were able to get up to 4th. And then it was just insane, like just trying to get by Chad and Kendall, hold off Kendall and try to get by Chad. And I'm looking at the replay right now, and I'm like inches ahead of Kendall for what ended up being second. So,
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect it, but we'll definitely take the P2.
Well, the old adage is, Matt, is that in order to win races, you have to put yourself in the position to win races, and so sometimes that means working through attrition and working through damage and bad circumstances in hopes that you will receive a good circumstance, and that certainly is the case for you tonight. I'm interested to know, did you afford all the repairs that the truck needed, or did you still have quite a bit of damage repair? Because I know at one point you went from 15 seconds left to over 3 minutes to do, and then of course to have enough speed there at the end of the event that you could hold off a clean truck like Kendall Paul and race Chad Winstead. Were you still in effect of having to repair some of that damage?
We were at about, I think, a minute 45, maybe a minute 40 after that last stop. But at that point, when the caution came out with 10 to go, it was, okay, this truck's fast enough to kind of stay with everybody, even with this damage. We're just going to take 4 tires and just see what happens from there. I mean, yeah, we had about like 15 to 20 seconds left, and then I overdid the throttle on the exit of 4 and slapped the wall, and I think it gave me close to 3 minutes. So that was a little disheartening, but to be able to rally back, especially because you don't know what you're going to get at Bristol in these races. You don't know whether or not you're going to get enough cautions to get the truck most or completely repaired, or you're going to end up going green the whole time, and you're going to be running around a couple tenths off the pace, which we did for a while, but we were able to get most of it fixed. Obviously, the crew didn't have enough time to put Bear Bond over the left front, but we fought hard and came back and ended up with a really surprising P2.
Some of the circumstances worked out in your favor, and old Kilroy on the back of that truck was bringing you some luck tonight. So despite any misfortune, Kilroy brought you some good luck.
Oh,
Matt,
yeah.
You know the drill tonight. You finished on the podium. You get the opportunity to share with us all of your shout outs and your appreciation for your sponsors, whoever, friends, family, whoever it might be. The floor is yours, my friend.
All right. I appreciate that. Obviously, awesome sponsor of Three Birdies Golf Company. Happy to keep them on. They're cool. I know I've said this multiple times. I sound like a broken record whenever I get to come up here, but for them to come in and be a sponsor and for the team here at M3S Motorsports is really, really an awesome thing. I'm very grateful to them. They're still doing free shipping on all orders over $100. So if you want, go check them out. It's threebirdiesgolf.com. Everybody at AMA who puts this league on, Kendall and everybody, this is an awesome league to run in. Celsius for the quick energy. I'm probably missing a bunch of people, but it was an insane finish. I'm a little bit like my mind's a little bit scrambled right now. Peace, Love, and Pause Rescue, that awesome rescue out of Southeast Michigan, my alma mater, Adrian College, which is the Bulldog on the B pillar. And last but not least, you guys up with P1 Broadcasting. You guys do an awesome job. It's always a pleasure to go back and watch your commentary, watch everything you guys do. So thanks to you, thanks to everybody, and thanks to everybody again at AMA.
Thank you, Matt.
We're so happy for your finish, Matt. Great job.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Thank
you.
you.
Keep going fast and having fun, you hear?
Yeah, hopefully next time I won't look like somebody had to take a Sawzall to my truck.
Leave the sharks at home.
Yeah, leave the sharks at home, buddy. You have a good one, you hear?
Yep, you too. Take care, guys.
Sir.
Night.
That is Matt Sisler. And for the winner, we're going to go ahead and grab Austin Hunt. Austin, you've got Murph, you've got Sam Crow in the P1 Broadcasting booth. You were very quietly effective all night. You got your truck up to the front when it mattered. You got fresh tires when it mattered, and you were able to go by Chad Winstead when it mattered. Talk to us about your night. Talk to us about being a 2-time winner at Bristol, and talk to us about having not eclipsed the largest margin of victory for this race.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It was threw me for a loop tonight because we only had 2 sets of tires, so I had to put my brain to use instead of just putting tires on every time he stopped. But I had planned on doing it at both stages, but then I was like, I'd rather save a set for the end, so I just kind of went with that strategy and lived with it till the end of the race when I needed it. So,
Well, Austin, just congratulations on a fantastic run.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, during the race, I'd actually noticed that you kind of set yourself back a little bit and just was riding for a little while, and then you started making that move in the last stage, and you were able to catch Chad Winstead and make that pass for the lead, and then that late race caution. Can you just give us a little insight of what's going through your head when that comes out?
honestly, I don't think I would have caught Chad if that caution wouldn't come out. I think we would have stayed about a second apart there because I got the tires nice and hot and couldn't make up any ground once I got to about a second on him, and then that caution come out. I was like, I'm definitely pitting for fresh tires because mine are blistering hot, and it just worked out. I got around him on that restart, and we did it one more time, and I got to take off first. So.
Well, there's no question you get the trophy tonight. It was a fantastic job of driving and patience and using your brain, as you said. Apparently, it's still working for you.
That's more than
it really just comes down to the patience thing. I mean, these longer races, you can't win them on the first 2/3 of the race. So
there you go. I tell you what, Austin, you used your brain tonight, which is more than I usually use. With that said, congratulations on the win one more time. Friends, family, sponsors, shout outs. The floor is yours, my man.
I'd say let's give a shout out to the 4D group. He's a awesome guy. Y'all check him out. Mark, I know you know about him.
Heck yeah, man. I had a good time with Jim last weekend.
Wife and kids just for letting me sit down and do it peacefully when it's time to race. So
that's always a plus.
Yes, yeah, we had a great time over there at the expo with Jim. We hung out with him the whole weekend. So
yeah, that was
you got to make the expo as well. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a great time. I spent most of my time trying to keep Christopher out of trouble, and then I had a bunch of open wheel obligations to take care of. So I didn't get to spend as much time with Jim and the 40 crew and his wife and you as I would have liked to. But it's what it is, man. There'll be another one of those in a little bit less than a year. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. I think it'll be much bigger next year once everybody sees what a success it was this year. So.
For certain.
Well, apparently it was an inspiration because you came back with a win tonight.
Yeah, it did. That's what I was telling my wife. It's kind of inspired me a little bit more to sit down and race more. And it's I've had some good races since I've been back from the expo. So
there you go. Well, thank you so much, Austin, for joining us in the booth. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, Austin.
Will do. That is Austin Hunn, tonight's winner in the 4D Racewear truck. Sam, We've had two really, really, really nice races here at Bristol in the AMA, and it's only going to keep getting better and better here on the P1 Broadcasting Network. Sunday night, we're going to have the Votive Indy Oval Series Round 5. That's from Legacy, Texas. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Gary Godso will have that one. Monday night, we return to normal service, Sam. It'll be the Indy Open Series official top split. That'll go at 8 o'clock. And then immediately following that, we're going to have the season opener for the Onyx Racing League, and it's going to be Lotus 79, Sam.
Oh, retro 79s.
We're going to turn back the clock and party like it's 1979, baby.
The sound of those cars, it's amazing.
They are.
I've run a series in Lionheart in those particular cars. They're not as easy to drive as one may think, but still the sound and the experience is a lot of fun.
They are a ton of fun, Sam. On Tuesday night, it is the flagship broadcast, the Indy Oval Top Split. That's going to go at 8:15 on Wednesday. We're going to have the Horizon IndyCar Series live from Pocono at 8 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time. The Blackmagic Studios Grand National Series is off this week, and so Friday night, it'll be the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. That'll happen at 8:20 for the pre-race, 8:35 for the start. These trucks will be at New Hampshire. Next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, we are off, and then Sunday the 21st, it'll be the penultimate round of the Dark Horse DW12 Series presented by the Joy of Driving from New Hampshire. That's going to go Sunday the 21st at 8. We would like to thank everybody for tuning in to the P1 Broadcasting channel. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, be notified of all future P1 broadcasting events. We'd also like to thank the people who really make it possible. The first responders, the police, the fire, the military, the EMTs who drive the ambulance, and Sam, the nurses that unload you at the hospital when they get you there. For Mark Murphy, Sam Crow, our founder, Gary Godso, have a great night, everybody, and a fabulous weekend. We'll catch you at the next one.